my fellow comic book collectors, it's Alan, the Comic Collector Geek, and this is part 8 of this Grail unboxing. And this part of this unboxing, I'm sure people will really like, because if you like Precode horror, if you like EC comics, well, this is an EC comics collection that I picked up, and it's a pretty cool one. I'm trying to create a complete run of crime suspense stories. You know, it seemed like I kept on buying different issues. Like I bought one for the Seduction of the Innocent, which was actually 2 issues, 20 and 22 for that. And then I was like, oh, I picked up a couple more, and then it's like, why don't I just finish the whole run? And that's the kind of rabbit hole that I go down, where I end up picking up a whole run of something just because, you know, I picked up a few from the run. So it's actually got a lot of really great covers, and I don't know, I fell in love with the series. So this is a bunch of books. I think it's 9 in total, from one seller that had just a really great collection of EC comics. So I made a deal. I got a deal with him. I paid $1,500 for the whole lot. So and it's 9 books. Okay, let's get into it. I'll show you the books. First, we're going to show you a raw one. He graded it at a 6.0. I think he overgraded it. I don't know why he graded it so high. It's not that high of a grade. But, yeah. So this is Crime Suspense Stories number 10. And it's just a cool one where you know, it's like a surgery cover. And what does it say? The police are waiting to search me as soon as I've finished. I've got to get the diamond I stole. But how? Where can I hide it? Unless he's going to hide it inside the body of the guy that he's operating on. So that's kind of funny. He's going to... you know, I've heard stories where my parents are actually doctors. And one of the things that they told me, this is kind of an interesting story about operating rooms. A lot of the time there's bleeding, you know, when you do any type of surgery. Obviously there's going to be some bleeding. And they need cotton swabs to soak up the bleeding, you know, just so that it doesn't spread and doesn't get in the way. So they'll actually count how many swabs that they use. And they will, you know, when they finish the surgery, they will recount the swabs to make sure that none are missing. And if they're missing, that means that they're inside the person. So there have been cases of people getting a little extra from their surgery, where they find pieces of you know, cotton swab or whatever inside of them. So this is kind of that idea. So yeah, Crime Suspense Stories number 10. So that's kind of a cool one. And we got Crime Suspense Stories number 2. Bondage cover. Guy with the brass knuckles. What does it say? Please don't hit me. You're making a mistake. I'm a dead ringer for the guy you're after. But he's dead. I killed him. That's what you thought. You killed me. But those punks knock you off in my place, pal. Then I'll step in and blast them. So yeah. So very... I don't know why he doesn't just walk away. You know, they would think he's dead and he could live his life normally. So yeah, nice Johnny Craig cover. The other one was Johnny Craig as well. Johnny Craig did a lot of the covers for Crime Suspense Stories. So this is Crime Suspense Stories number 2. White pager too, actually. Very nice. So yeah. Okay. Next one is Crime Suspense Stories number 6. And this one's interesting. So if you know Crime Suspense Stories number 20, it's the famous hanging cover. and the guy's eyes are bulging out. His neck is broken, and his bone of his neck is sticking out. Well, maybe this is the kind of like the next step in that, because like you see this guy, he's got the noose around his neck. His neck is obviously broken. He's just sort of walking along, being dead, a little dead. Yeah, so what does it say? The dark, deserted streets make me nervous as ever since I sat on the jury that condemned Peter Kartov. But what am I afraid of? He's hanged. He was hanged this morning. So I think he's not so happy in the dead, when he's dead, and he might get some revenge here on the juror that convicted him. It's another Johnny Craig cover too. So this is really cool. Crime Suspense Stories number 6. So I'm pretty close to completing the run after all these books. I think there's 27 in all, or 27, 28 issues. It's not that many. And this will get me really close to completing the whole series. The next one is Crime Suspense Stories number 18. And this one has some restoration. It's a 4/5 restored. The restoration includes a small amount of color touch on the cover. Actually, where is it? I'm just looking to see if I can spot it. Yeah, it's one of those ones where you need to do the light. But it's another Johnny Craig cover. And it's a cool one because it's, the woman is getting like attacked. Of course she's wearing red, standard thing in the golden age. And there's maybe a neighbor that's gonna, could, witness it or like potentially save the girl by calling the police or whatever. And she's, the guy's with the knife and has her gagged. She's just hoping that she'll get noticed. It's a really cool cover, very simple. I like covers where they do this kind of shadowing too. I always like that. I always feel like it adds a little bit of depth to the art. So yeah, just a really cool one. Crime Suspense Stories number 18. Another Johnny Craig. This is like a Johnny Craig collection. Crime Suspense Stories 21. And you got this woman, and she's obviously getting rid of the body, and she's wearing a red dress, but she's not in distress. So she's causing distress in this case. She's getting rid of the body, and you see a car in the background, potentially going to discover her and her crime. So just a really cool one. It's interesting. I didn't realize Johnny Craig did so many covers in this series, but it's pretty much all his covers. And this is one of the ones I actually really, really like. I don't know why. This one kind of reminds me of the same artist's other work. So this is Crime Suspense Stories number 25. And this one kind of reminds me of the Blue Beetle cover that Jack Kamen did, where she's looking into the mirror and you just see it's the Vanishing Bra cover where it's in the mirror she's wearing a bra, but from the back she doesn't look like she's wearing a bra. But it has that same, it's almost like this was like before that one, like where this guy's like maybe following her and then she's like goes off and he continues following her. Almost feel like that. So this is Crime Suspense Stories number 25, and restoration includes a small amount of color touch on the cover. And I can't see that, but I always like this cover though. I really do feel like it. It's one of my favorite actually. I know it's like maybe not the most extreme, but something about it. I just like the good girl and just the whole situation. I think it's interesting. So yeah, Crime Suspense Stories number 25. I've been trying to get that one for a while, so I was quite excited that I could get it for a good price. I basically got it, the whole collection, for about half of what he had it offered on eBay for. The next one is Crime Suspense Stories number 8. This is an interesting one as well. Another Johnny Craig cover. So this one is a 2.0, and I guess there's some tape that was used to reattach the cover. It's a CBCS grading. It's not restored though, but it is got some tape on it, and but it presents really, really well. And this guy, he's in the meat locker. You can see different things in the background. I'm not sure, or is that meat locker? Yeah, it looks like a meat locker. And then he's like, you see the guy, and he's looking in, and he's like letting the guy freeze or something like that. Now, there's a few covers kind of like this that I think of from EC Comics, but I like this one. I think it's interesting. Okay, it's number 8, and the last is kind of one of the coolest of this lot, because it's a very famous murderer, and this is the Lizzie Borden cover and issue. So this one is a 0.5. It's missing the 5th wrap. Effects story incomplete. Cover detached, completely split. So this one was fairly cheap. Actually, normally this is a pretty pricey book because of the Lizzie Borden connection. You see her on the cover. I mean, the cover presents well. The spine, you can see, is not the greatest, but definitely presents well other than that. And Lizzie Borden was very famous because she killed her parents with an axe. At the time, it's kind of an interesting story. So she killed her father and mother using an axe. And she was covered in blood. She said later on that it was paint, and she destroyed the evidence. It was pretty obvious that she was guilty. And what happened was she was sort of in high society, and her family was very, very rich, but her father was very frugal, and she wanted to party and have fun with the money that they had. But her father was very frugal. He didn't let her go parties, and really was very restrictive to her. So that's why she killed the two. And afterwards, when she went to trial, the jurors were really hesitant to convict a woman of such a heinous crime. They just couldn't believe a woman could do this. And she would dress like all like in her church outfits, basically, make herself look really innocent. And they just couldn't believe that a woman could do such horrific things, because, I forget how many whacks, there's a poem, and I think it's right here. Lizzie Borden took an axe, gave her father 40 whacks. Then she saw what she had done, and then she gave her mother 41. So that just shows how horrific it was. Like the murder that she had done. She literally hit them with the axe 40 some odd times. Just a crazy crime. And she got released. Actually, she didn't serve in prison at all. But society afterwards really didn't like the fact that she was released. She was kind of like the OJ of her time. And she really didn't, she was shunned by high society. She tried to spend all the money. She tried to have parties and lavish events and stuff like that. And she kind of left, her life was kind of not a good one afterwards even. So yeah, very interesting story of Lizzie Borden. So yeah, another Johnny Craig cover as well. So those are the EC collection I got. I really like this EC collection because, I always want to have this situation where I can have that complete run and I can just look through all of them and see them all. And I'm getting close to that. So maybe once I get the complete run, I'll do a video dedicated to showing the whole run of Crime Suspense Stories. So I hope you enjoyed this video. What do you think? Do you like EC Comics? Put your comments in the comments below. And thanks for watching. Bye for now.